Today's topic is clinical trial protocol. The first of one, a protocol is a document that the status, the reasoning, the behind and the structure of the research project. The second, the protocol also defined as the document that is describe the background, rationale, the objectives, design, methodologies, statistical. Then next is the consideration and the organization of trial. The study the protocol can be viewed as the written the agreement between the investigator, the participant, and the scientific community. Then next is the clinical trial protocol. The Drug and Cosmetic Act is the Schedule Y. The requirements and the guidelines for the permission to the importance and the or manufacture of new drugs for the sale or in the undertake the clinical trial. The next is the ICH guideline, the E6R2, the good clinical practices integrated in the adherence to the ICH E6R1, clinical trial protocol and the protocol amendment. The ICMR is the national the ethical the guideline for the biomedical and the health research involving the human the participant, ethical is the communication. The next is the Schedule Y. Schedule Y, the first upon the April of the clinical trial. The clinical trial, a new drug shall be the initiated only after the permission has been granted by the licensing authority and the approval obtained from the respectively ethics community. Then next is the responsibility and sponsors. The sponsor is the responsible for the implementing and the maintaining the quality the assurance system to ensure that the clinical trial and the conducted and the data graded the document and reported in compliance with the protocol and good clinical practices. The clinical trial phases of Schedule Y. The phase is the checking of safety. Second is the checking of efficacy. Third page is the confirmation result and in the FDA review and phase for trial. The next point is the human pharmacology phase 1. The objective of the studies in this phase is the estimation of the safety and tolerability with the initial administration and investigation of new drug in humans. The next point is the ICH guideline E6R2. Clinical trial protocol and the protocol amendment. The next is the background information. The next is the trial design. The next is the selection and the withdrawal of the subject. Next is the treatment of subjects. Then next is the ICMR guideline. The all research involving the human participants should be conducted in the accordance with the basic general ethics principles. The research and the term are the responsible for the protecting the density, right, safety as well as the being the participant enrolling in the study. Then benefit risk assessment. The social and the scientific the value of research should be justify the risks, which is the probability of the counseling the discomfort of harm in the and anticipated and physical and physiological and social, economical or legal. Then next is the ICMR guideline. The information content process. The information content the protect the individual authority to freely choose the whether or not is the participate in the research. The informed content should explain the medical terminology in the simple term as be in the longer than the participant understood. In the certain in the circumstance, the audio visual in the recording, the information in the consent in the process may be the required. For the example of the certain in the clinical trial or notified by the CDSU. Then inclusion and exclusion criteria. The first upon sex, age, race, and then the disease is the condition. Then next is the guideline of the protocol, contents of protocols. The first upon introduction, abstract, objective, background, rationale, the eligibility criteria, study design is the method, criteria for the evaluation is study of the treatment, clinical assessment, evaluation by the visit. Then next is the adverse effect reporting, next is the documentation, the discontinuation and the replacement of the subject. Then next is the protocol validation. 6 is the statistical section including the analysis and monitoring. Then next administrative ethics is the regulatory consideration. Then next is the subject is the confidentially. Reference is the appendix, and this last is the publication. Thank you.